We are right on the edge of a new industrial revolution. But this one, it's not happening down here on Earth. It's happening in that huge, dark expanse right above our heads. So today, let's explore the digital highways being paved to power this incredible new business of space.
Think about it. From the ancient Roman aqueducts all the way to the internet, that statement has always been true. And as we push further and further into space, you realize that the next great legacy, well, it's going to be the commercial infrastructure we build out there. And that foundation is being laid as we speak.
And look, this isn't some sci-fi fantasy set 100 years from now. The global space economy is projected to be worth a staggering $1.8 trillion by 2035. That's not just rockets and astronauts. We're talking about manufacturing, data, communications, a whole new ecosystem. But there's a big problem.
Yeah, while the technology itself is literally reaching for the stars, the business processes, a lot of them are completely stuck on the ground, tangled up in this ancient web of outdated methods. And this is the real bottleneck holding back just how fast we can innovate. Just try to imagine how a satellite company finds one specific part today. It starts with this digital scavenger hunt. Critical specs are just lost in these endless email threads. It's almost impossible to know if you're even looking at the latest version. And then the quotes start rolling in. Every single one is in a different format, usually a static PDF you can't really do anything with. They're all buried in someone's inbox, which means trying to compare them side by side is a total manual nightmare.
And what about compliance? I mean, this is the world of space and defense. It's incredibly high stakes. Every little component has to be verified. But right now, that's a slow, super risky process of checking things by hand, cross-referencing documents, just mountains of paperwork.
So, what does all this chaos actually lead to? Well, the consequences are pretty severe. We're talking about huge delays that can derail entire missions, the massive risk of using a vendor who isn't properly vetted, crazy inefficiency, and maybe worst of all, just missed opportunities in one of the fastest growing markets on and off the planet.
So how in the world do you fix a 21st century problem like this? You guessed it, with a 21st century solution. It's time to finally move on from that mess of paperwork on the ground and build a real, streamlined digital port designed for the business of space.
I love this slide because it just lays it all out, right? The before and after. We're moving away from the chaos, the emails, the PDFs, the manual, everything. The new way is all about clean, structured data, a network of partners you can actually trust, compliance checks that happen automatically, and being able to make smart decisions fast. It's a total shift from chaos to control.
And this is the system designed to make it all happen. Satellite Streets. Now here's the really crucial part. This is not just another online list of companies. Think of it as a complete operating system, built from the ground up to manage that entire complicated dance of buying and selling for the space industry.
So how does it actually work? It's really simple. First, you discover vendors from a network that's already been vetted. Step 2, you send out your request for a quote, an RFQ, using a smart, structured digital form. And finally, you get to compare all the responses in this clean, side-by-side view to make the best possible choice. Simple.
Okay, let's look under the hood for a second. This is the engine that makes it all run. You've got things like TRL and MRL badges. That stands for Technology and Manufacturing Readiness Levels, so you instantly know how mature a product is. There are special calculators and wizards for handling complex government contracts, and of course, full audit logs, so every single step is tracked for compliance. These aren't just random features. They're direct solutions to all those problems we talked about earlier.
All right, so we've got a powerful platform that solves a really critical problem. But is it a good business? Let's take a look at how Satellite Streets is actually designed to fuel its own growth.
The main business model is a classic subscription service. There's a free tier, which is perfect for startups or researchers just to get in and look around. Then you have a pro tier for smaller suppliers who need to send out lots of quotes. And finally, the enterprise tier for the big players, the defense labs and prime manufacturers who need all the bells and whistles for compliance and automation.
So who are they actually building this for? Well, their focus is laser sharp. This isn't for you and me. It's for that complex business-to-business supply chain that makes space happen. We're talking satellite manufacturers, defense labs with super strict requirements, launch providers on tight schedules, component suppliers, and that whole new wave of startups trying to move fast. They know exactly who their customer is.
So let's zoom back out. You've got a clear problem, a powerful solution, and a solid business model. So, what's the grand mission? Well, it starts with a really strategic focus and then expands into a truly global ambition.
Their launchpad is India, and this chart tells you exactly why. The Indian space market is just set to explode, projected to leap from around $8 billion in 2022 to over $44 billion by 2033. I mean, capturing even a small slice of that pie is a massive opportunity.
And here's the flight plan. Year 1 is all about winning the Indian market. Year 2, they expand regionally into those other booming hubs in Southeast Asia and the Middle East. And by year 3, the goal is to go global, entering the established markets in Europe and the US to become the go-to platform for space commerce everywhere.
And that brings us right back to where we started, doesn't it? This was never just about a piece of software. It's about building the fundamental rails that the entire future of planetary business is going to run on. Just like sea lanes and highways defined commerce in the past, digital platforms like this will define the next era. So the question isn't if we're going to build a space economy anymore, it's who is going to build the tools that power it.